So now let's continue with the question number 9. The sum of arithmetic progression 3, 7, 11 is 210. Then the number of terms present in the arithmetic progression is the question. Fine. So let us understand the given progression is 3, 7, 11 and up to n terms are there. Where he has already given that the progression is arithmetic progression. Hence, let me take a is equal to 3. A is equal to 3. Then common difference, that is a2 minus a1 or a3 minus a2. Consider it will be 4. And he has given that Sn is equal to, please understand, Sn is equal to 210. The sum of first n terms in this arithmetic progression is given. Right. So let us take care of Sn formula. So what is Sn formula here? Sn is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Now substitute the value. 210 is equal to n divided by 2 into 2 into a, that is 2 into 3 plus n minus 1, and common difference we all know that is 4. Now taking 2 to the LHS, that becomes 420, 420, and n into 2 3s are 6 plus 4n minus 4. 420 n as it is, 4n plus 2, 6 minus 4 is plus 2. Clear? Now take everything to RHS, so we get let me open the bracket. 420 is equal to n into, I think here we have got 2 common. So what is left is 2n plus 1 is left. Now 2 1s are 2 10s are. So what we have is 2n is equal to, open the bracket, 2n square plus n. Now you simplify, you will get a quadratic equation, right? 2n square plus n minus 210 is equal to 0. Correct? Now you should split the terms. See that 210 into 2 is there, that is 410, minus 410 is there. I repeat, you are multiplying these two quantities, 2 and minus 210, we are having minus 420. Minus 420. Minus 420. Hence the factors will be 21 into 20, where larger value sign is plus, the smaller value sign is minus, because plus into minus is minus 4 to 0. So let me split it as 2n square plus, let me take minus 20n here and plus 21n here, minus 210 is equal to 0. Now take a common, 2n common. So what is left? n minus 10 plus 21 common. So what is left? Again n minus 10 to 0. So what are the factors we have? N minus 10 as well as 2n plus 21 equal to 0. So it is very much clear that n minus 10 equal to 0 or 2n plus 21 is equal to 0. So in this case we get n is equal to 10. Whereas in this case we are getting 2n is equal to minus 21. Because n we have taken a number cannot be negative in this case, because we have taken first term as 3, right? So n cannot be negative in this case. And second thing is we have got number of terms. Number of terms it is always positive quantity, so we are not accepting this. Cancel this. So what is the number of terms in the given arithmetic progression? 10 terms are there. As it is 10, my option is D. I'll go with option D as the right choice. Okay, let's go for the next question. The standard form of an unaffected quadratic equation is, yes, I hope you remember that we have studied 2 types of quadratic equation. The first type of quadratic equation, that is unaffected quadratic equation. Unaffected quadratic equation. That is, it is always in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Whenever a is not equal to 0 as well as b is not equal to 0, right? What do you mean by pure quadratic equation? I hope you remember. What do you mean by pure quadratic equation? Pure quadratic equation is of the type ax square plus c equal to 0, where in this expression b is equal to 0. Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. In that equation, b is equal to 0. Then we say that it is pure quadratic equation. So I hope in this case I'll choose option A is correct. Right? Next. If x minus 1 is one of the factor of x square plus px minus 3, then the value of p in x square plus px minus 3 equal to 0 is of the calculator. Okay, so let us understand the condition here first. X minus 1 is one of the factor of x square plus px minus 3 and to be x square plus px minus 3 equal to 0, right? What should be the value of p is the question, right? So let us understand here, as x minus 1 is one of the factor, I repeat, as x minus 1 is one of the factor of the given quadratic equation, I can substitute x is equal to 1 in this equation. So let me put x is equal to 1 square plus p into 1 minus 3 is equal to 0. So 1 plus p minus 3 equal to 0. Hence p minus 2 equal to 0. Hence p must be equal to 2. As p is equal to 2, I'll go with option A is correct. Clear? Option A is the right answer. So what is the trick you can understand from this example? Always remember, if x plus a is a factor, of ax square, let me take I'll take some other variable because you should not get confused. X plus k is a factor of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 means definitely you can put x is equal to minus k in the quadratic equation and it will satisfy LHS and RHS. Clear? If it is x minus k, then I'll put x is equal to k plus k. Right? Let's go for the next. The values of x for which the equation is satisfied at the critical. I repeat, the values of x which satisfies the equation of the critical, quadratic equation. So let's go for the quadratic equation here. What is the quadratic equation, dear students? 6x square minus x minus 2 is equal to 0 is a given quadratic equation. The question is all about how to find the roots or the solution of the quadratic equation. As you all know, we have studied the solving the quadratic equation in 3 different methods. The one is splitting the middle term, second one is completing the square method, third one is Sridhar's formula, that is formula method. Okay, now in this case I'm just taking a small trick. I hope it will help a lot. Now let me take care of this. I will multiply these two quantities. Okay, minus 12, that becomes minus 12. Now I'll find the factors in a such a way that product is minus 12 and sum is minus 1. Okay, I think it is possible if I take minus 4 and 3. Right? You multiply, you will get minus 12. You add, you will get minus 1. That is the middle term, x coefficient. Hence, these are called as factors. Please remember this shortcut. These are called as the factors. Now, actually, we are interested in solution or roots. So, how to find the roots? The trick is here itself. Observe. Minus 4 is there, no? Just take care that minus 4 divided by coefficient of x square, that is 6. Here, 3 divided by coefficient of x square. That becomes the roots of the quadratic equation or solutions of the quadratic equation. Right? Now, the trick always lies in between the factors and the roots. So, 2 2s are, so what will be the value here? 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6. 3 ones are 3 twos are 6. Minus 2 by 3 and 1 by 2. Hence, minus 2 by 3 and 1 by 2 means I will go with option C is the right answer. Clear? Right? So, very simple way of understanding. What you should know is how to find the factors. To find the factors, what is the rule? Product should be is equal to A into C and sum should be is equal to X coefficient value. Right? After that, you just take this shortcut method, my dear student. You will get the solution in less than 1 minute. Right? Now let's continue with our next question, dear students. The nature of the roots of a quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 when b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Right? I hope you remember we have studied nature of the roots whenever a quadratic equation is given without solving the quadratic equation. See that you can study the nature of the roots by solving quadratic equation and without solving quadratic equation. So whenever you are taking the help of without solving the quadratic equation means definitely we should take a help of a discriminant value. So what is discriminant value here? That discriminant is always denoted by delta or triangle. Delta is equal to b square minus 4ac. Right? So for this delta we have studied 3 conditions. I hope you remember this. Let me revise it so that it will be helpful for you. Delta is less than 0. Delta is equal to 0. Delta is greater than 0. There are 3 conditions. Correct? Now whenever the delta is less than 0, right, there is no real roots. Means imaginary roots. No real roots. Right? Whenever delta is greater than 0, then there exist real roots and they are distinct. If delta is equal to 0, then there exist real roots and they are equal. Right? There are 3 conditions. Now here he has given that delta is less than 0, hence non-real root will exist. Non-real root means what? You will get imaginary root. Hence I'll go with the option B as the right answer. Non-real roots. Let's go for the 14th question. If the roots of a quadratic equation 3x square minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0 has 2 real equal roots, then the value of k is the question. Fine. So let us understand first the quadratic equation. In the quadratic equation, no, 3x square minus kx plus 3 is equal to 0. And it has given that this quadratic equation has real equal roots. So the equal roots means what? Delta must be equal to 0. Where what is delta? Delta is nothing but discriminant value. B square minus 4ac equal to 0. So let us substitute the value. So let me take a is equal to here 3, b is equal to minus k, c is equal to plus 3. Substitute the value. B square is minus k whole square minus 4 into a into c is equal to 0. That becomes k square is minus 4 into 3, that becomes 36 is equal to 0. Therefore, k square is equal to 36. Hence, k must be is equal to plus or minus 6. There are 2 values of k, that is plus or minus 6. So here he has given option B. Option B is containing only 6, right? Therefore, what is the answer in this case? B, that is plus 6 is the accepted answer, right? Next, from the trigonometry, as you all know, it is a basic definition of sine function. The question is all about the relation between the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Clear, right? As you all know, let me define here. I will consider a right angled triangle I'll consider a right angled triangle. Yes, we have a right angled triangle here, right? Let me consider it as yes. Let me consider this as theta. So if you take an ABC is a right angled triangle, if you consider C as the theta and opposite to theta, AB is called opposite side. Adjacent to theta, that is BC, is called adjacent. As you all know, this is called hypotenuse. Correct? Therefore, what is sine theta? What is sine theta? Sine theta is defined as opposite by adjacent. Opposite by hypotenuse. Sorry. Opposite by hypotenuse. That is AC. Right? Opposite by hypotenuse. Please note down. Opposite by hypotenuse. Whereas cos theta is defined as adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent by hypotenuse. Right? Now, when you are familiar with sine and cos, opposite by hypotenuse, adjacent by hypotenuse, it is very easy to remember remaining all other trigonometric functions, isn't it? So let me take first cosecant theta. What is cosecant theta? That becomes hypotenuse upon opposite, which is reciprocal of sine function. What is secant theta? Reciprocal of cos function. Hypotenuse upon adjacent. What is tan theta? Sine by cos. Means opposite by adjacent. What is cot theta? Reciprocal of tan function. Adjacent by opposite. Done. So that's a simple way of understanding the trigonometric functions. Please notice sine theta, cos theta, cosecant theta, secant theta, tan theta as well as cot theta. Right? Let's go for the next question. So in this case, what is my answer? My answer is option A. Opposite by hypotenuse is the correct answer. Opposite by hypotenuse. Next, what is sine 30 degree? Right. I have already reminded about this trigonometric function because even it will come for UC first year science, right? Trigonometry and relative applications will come. So I want all of my dear students to practice that table. Practice that table. For that, I am giving you a small shortcut. I hope it will help you a lot. Okay. So please note on this. Okay. So this is 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. Okay. So let me consider sine function first. Sine theta, you can take sine 0 like this. Okay. So observe here how I am writing. 0 divided by root 4. 1 divided by root 4. 2 divided by root 4. 3 divided by root 4. And 4 divided by root 4. Now, what is the interesting thing? Just observe here. In the denominator, we have completely root 4, root 4, root 4, root 4. Okay. And in the numerator, I have taken 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now, what is the magic is? You have to take care of square root even for the numerator. That's it. Let's see what happens. Root 0 is 0 only. 0 divided by finite number is 0. Isn't it? And root 1 is 1. Root 4 is 2. Root 2, root 2. Root 4 is 2. Root 3 by 2. Root 4 is 1. Right? What is the interesting thing? We are getting the same values, my dear students. Easy to remember. Root 2 by 2, you know that. You can split the denominator 2 as root 2 into root 2. After simplifying this term, even it will get to be 1 by root 2. That is still easy. So easy way of remembering sine function for the angles 0 to 90 degrees. please take care. This is easy to remember. ನೀವು ಅದನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಡಿನಾಮಿನೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ √4 is fixed, ನ್ಯೂಮರೇಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ √0 to √4 ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. And don't forget these angles, respect to angles, okay? 0, 30, 45, 60, these are standard angles, my dear students. They are standard angles. Just take care of this discipline, okay? Now, what is, I hope you can understand this, because further you need to simplify this. I'm giving you the original form, which you have to simplify and understand. Now, what is the interesting thing for cos function is, just reverse it. Just revert all the values. Okay. See that I am writing here √4 by √4, √3 by √4, decreasing order, √2 by √4, √1 by √4, √0 by √4. That's so simple. That's very much clear. I hope you are following this. Right? Further, it is easy to remember. Sin 0, 0, sin 31 by 2, sin 45, 1 by √2, sin 60, √3 by 2, sin 91. Cos 0 is 1, cos 30 is √3 by 2, cos 45 is 1 by √2, cos 60 is 1 by 2, and cos 90 is 0. So simple, dear students. I hope this trick will help you a lot. So in this case, what is the question? The question is not about sin 30 degrees equal to what is the real value. The question is about sin 30 degree in terms of cos function. Now, what is the interesting thing? The friendship of sin and cos is such that they are always a complement of each other. They are best friends in trigonometric functions. Right? I just repeat. Because if you consider sin 0, try to understand this. Sin 0, value is 0. Cos 90 degree. What is cos 90 degree is 0. Now, what is sin 30 degree? 1 by 2. What is cos 60 degree? Right? Is also 1 by 2. Let's go for next. What is sin 45 degree? 1 by √2. What is cos 45 degree? Is also 1 by 2. Let's go for sin 60 degree. Must be is equal to cos 30 degrees. See that they are having the same values. Now, what is the friendship here? The friendship is all about. Now, try to understand. The sum of angles is 90 degrees. 0 plus 90, 90 degree. 30 plus 60, 90 degree. 45 degrees plus 45 degree, same. 60 degree plus 30 degree, same. So, what you can observe? They are complement of each other. Andre sin 1 degree idre cos alli enirutte adu 89 degree irtade. I hope you are following. Sin alli 11 degree 15 degree ittantandre alli ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರಬೇಕ್ರಿ cos alli 75 degree ಇರಬೇಕು. They are complement. So just make it very simple. If you have sin here alpha cos beta ittandre alpha plus beta compulsory minimum value ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತದ 90 degree ಇರ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಂಗಲ್ಲಿ sin 30 degree ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಏನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು cos 60 degree ಆಗಿರಲೇಬೇಕು. This is one way of approach. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. sin 30 degree ಎಷ್ಟದಪ್ಪ 1 by 2 ಅದ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. cos 60 ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ 1 by 2 ಮುಗೀತು, ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅದಾವ್ರಿ. Hence, what is the right choice in this case? Option A is correct. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಅನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. sin 30 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 by 2, tan 30 that is sin 30 by cos 30 that is 1 by √3. Here cos 30 √3 by 2, sin 60 √3 by 2, cos 60 1 by 2. ಈ ತರ ನೀವು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿನೂ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Hence, the right choice in this case is option A. The value of cosecant 32 degree divided by secant 58 degree ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. The same kind of concept you have to apply here. Let's see the magic of trigonometry. Right? What is the problem? Problem is actually cosecant of 32 degree divided by secant of 58 degree. Now, can I write cosecant as 1 divided by sin 32 degree? And here 1 divided by cos 58 degree. Because they are reciprocal, sin and cosecant, secant and cos, they are reciprocal of each other. Now, if you observe carefully, taking this whole term to the numerator, right, we get cos 58 degree divided by sine 32 degree. Right. Again, we have a magic. What is the magic? I told you, right? And again, here sine alpha is equal to cos beta. Then it is true that alpha plus beta must be is equal to pi by 2. That is 90 degree. Right. So here also you can observe what is cos 58 and sine 32. They are the sum of two angles is 90 degree, isn't it? 58 plus 2 is 60, 60 plus 30 is 90. So definitely both are equal. Both are equal. Numerator lane answer is there, denominator other answer is there. Therefore, what should be your final answer in this case? 1. I repeat. Why? Because cos 58 degree must be is equal to sine 32 degree. Again, from the previous concept. So I'll go with option D in this case. Option D is the right answer.